Hello, everyone. We are glad to be coming your way again this weekend, myself and the panelists. This is Hard and Heavy Direct Talk with your regular host, Professor Jubin owusu-nyamekye. And this week, we have the opportunity to discuss our retirement as an immigrant. Retirement, the case of an immigrant. We are going to be asking ourselves and discussing some of these issues uh, very broadly and widely. How do we plan to retire? Where do we plan to retire? Which place do we want to retire after we lay down our tools? These are questions that we are going to ask our panelists who are experienced, well versed in their craft, to help us to digest the topic. I am sure that you have seen, as much as I have, a lot of people in our communities who are still working, even in their advanced age. And often we ask ourselves, when am I going to retire? We work so hard, very hard. And the key question that we ought to be asking ourselves is that after all this, what? When do we get to lay down our tools and enjoy life? That is retirement. We see people go back to their home country, Guinea, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, in the advanced age, and you see them back here. And they tell you, oh, I'm coming for medical checkup. Or I can't live there because I can't get my medications. Or the life situation is bad. Or there's too much armed robbery. I'm scared to live in my own house. So I think it's better here. And so the key question we should ask ourselves is, if it is better here, what planning have you done to make it better when you lay down your tools? If it is back home, what plans have you made? Someone will tell you, oh, I have a house. The house doesn't feed you. Someone may say, oh, I have a business. But you have set up a business in a country where the currency is becoming weaker and weaker after government after government after government, years after years. And so, how do you get return on investment if you plan to retire back home? How do you get return on investment? And I am going to leave the definition of comfortability to you. You decide on what is comfortable for you. The panel members is not going to decide what's comfortable for you. If you think a house is comfortable for you, so be it. But I have a position that I'm going to put to my panel members on Saturday at 2 p.m. This coming Saturday, June 8th. My position is that if you are able to lay down your tools to retire and not work at the age of 62, you did well with your money. Considering the way we work so hard, some of us have 2 jobs, 3 jobs, then I think you did well with your money. If not, I don't think you did well with your money. You should be able to lay down your tools at the age of 62. And somebody might say, oh, at 62, you start to draw Social Security. Yes, 65 Medicaid if you live Medicare if you live in the United States. Yes. But that is where you have planned very well to be able to retire. Now, if you want to retire well, know that you need to keep your job. The very day that you got a job is retirement day. Because the more you keep your job, The more you make the contributions to your social security, the more you make contributions to your 401k, the more you make contributions to your other retirement savings plans. So for those of us who like to go and live in back home, either Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Morocco, Egypt, wherever, if you go and live there for 3 months without income, guess what? You are not contributing to retirement. It is when you are holding on to your job, consistently earning income. And so you want to make sure you are consistent on that. Now, how many of us even check their social security accounts to see where am I? What am I doing with my income? At what age am I planning to retire? Like I said, the very first day you got the job is your retirement day. So if you are waiting to be 40s, 50s, 60 before you plan, you've missed the boat. Because at that time, you've had a lot of working years before. What did you do with the money? And so that is why we are going to discuss this issue and see what we can do to plan well. Some may say, well, if I live here, my income will not be enough. Why wouldn't your income not be enough? Was it lack of planning? Or you put all your income back home? Is that where you plan to go and live? I did a little survey. That survey told me that people are confused. They don't know where they want to retire. They think they're going to retire back home. And later on in life, they find themselves here. These are some of the things that we are going to be discussing this weekend. So join me and my panel members as we dissect retirement, the case of an immigrant. Where do we want to retire? How do we want to retire? What measures are we putting in place to retire? How are we holding on to our jobs? What kinds of decisions are we making when we are applying for jobs? What should we be looking out for as we are planning? What do we have to do so that we can conscientize ourselves? This discussion is not going to solve issues. We are going to bring issues to the fore for discussion. Even after the show, you could be discussing with other people. I know there's going to be discussions going on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and we are going to go live on all these social media handles. If you type my name, owusu-nyamekye, Professor owusu-nyamekye, you find me and you can join the conversation. And let's make informed decisions for our people, for ourselves. Because we need to. We are not going to be working for the rest of our lives. During my survey, I talked to a lady who lives in Belgium. And she said, I have a 10-bedroom house in Nigeria. But I go there for only 2 weeks, 3 weeks. My husband does not even want to go and live there. My kids don't want anything to do with that house. Now, I'm thinking that house may have cost her $300,000 easily. If she had put that money into 401k, she could be able to retire now. This person I'm talking about is 72 years old. She's actively working. 2 jobs. Get up every morning, go to the first job, good job. Then the second job. Very educated, but she's still working at 72. She wishes she could retire, but she's not able to. And so these are some of the things that we are going to be discussing. Hopefully, it will hit somebody to make a decision, to be able to plan and invest properly. This way, 62, for my position, you'll be comfortable. House paid off. No major loans. Kids done with college. You've got enough from 401k, from Social Security Administration, from your own savings, American funds, whatever funds that you have. And combined, it wouldn't matter where you live. But if you, I, and I talked to this other person who said, well, I have a business back home that I'm going to use for my retirement. The business is still there, it's working. I asked, how much have you, what is your return on investment? And he paused and he said, whoa, it's a good question. I keep pumping money into it, pumping money into it. Well, and one thing you did not realize, that you have invested in a country where your currency keeps getting weaker and weaker and weaker, year after year, year after year, government after government, president after president, every day. But that is where you have tried to invest. And so, what kind of returns are you looking for? Would you have been best put the money here in CDs, certificate of deposit, and earn something? Buy stocks? Stay tuned. Join me and my panel members on Hot and Heavy Direct Talk, Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, and let us discuss the issues. See you. We will be on Facebook Live, be on YouTube, we'll be on LinkedIn, Instagram. See you all.